Hey there, and welcome. So you're thinking about growing your team, right? You know it can get, well, complicated. Today, we're zeroing in on a really exciting, high-potential spot, Mauritius. We're going to break down what it really takes to bring on top talent there.
All right, so your company's on the up and up, and you're starting to look at the amazing talent pools across Africa. I mean, it's a huge opportunity, right? But the question that always pops up is, where do you even start?
So why Mauritius of all places? Well, let me tell you, it's way more than just a stunning island getaway. You've got this really strong mixed economy, think tourism, manufacturing, financial services, the whole shebang, and all of that is made it the most developed country in Africa per capita. For a business like yours, what that really means is it's a gold mine for finding highly skilled professional talent. The opportunity here? It's huge.
Okay, but here's the thing. With great opportunity comes, well, a bit of a headache. Hiring locally, no matter where you are in the world, means you've got to get up to speed on the local rules. And in Mauritius, your journey begins in what I like to call the compliance maze, starting with payroll and taxes.
So that first big hurdle you're going to hit, it's payroll. Look, in Mauritius, it's on you, the employer, to handle a whole bunch of mandatory contributions. We're talking Social Security, a national savings fund, a special levy for training, and a retirement fund. And see here, each one has its own specific percentage, some for you, some for the employee. Getting those numbers absolutely perfect every single payday, it's not just important, it's a serious, demanding job.
And get this, that responsibility, it doesn't just end when the paycheck is sent. The law in Mauritius says you have to keep all of your payroll records for 10 years, a full decade. That is a massive long-term compliance burden you have to manage flawlessly.
And you guessed it, the fun doesn't stop with payroll. Once you pass the numbers, you have to dive into the nitty-gritty of local labor law. And this covers some really critical stuff, like mandatory employee leave and some, let's just say, very strict rules about termination. So you're probably wondering, just how specific are we talking? Well, let's take a look at parental leave. In Mauritius, female employees get 14 days of fully paid maternity leave, which is mandated by law. Now, for male employees, they get 5 days of paternity leave. But, and this is a big but, that only kicks in after they've been with you for a full year. And listen, these aren't just suggestions. These are legally required benefits you absolutely have to get right.
Okay, so here's the big one. What happens if, things just don't work out with an employee? You can terminate a contract, sure, but our source material puts it pretty bluntly. The process is difficult, and the protections for employees are strict. What that means for you is that one wrong move, just a single misstep, could land your business in some serious legal trouble.
All right, let's recap. We've got this compliance maze, right? Complicated payroll, a decade of record keeping, and super strict labor laws. It's a lot. So the million-dollar question is, how do you get access to all that amazing Mauritian talent without the massive headache of building an entire HR department on the ground?
Well, that question leads us directly to a really smart solution for global hiring. It's called an employer of record, or as you'll often hear it, an EOR.
So what in the world is an EOR? Think of it like this. It's a specialized company that becomes the legal employer for your team members, but on your behalf. They handle all the tricky local stuff, HR, payroll, legal compliance, so you don't have to. The biggest win? You get to skip the whole long, expensive process of setting up your own company in Mauritius.
And the way it works is actually pretty simple. Step 1, you do what you're great at. You go out and find that rock star candidate. Step 2, once you've found them, the EOR swoops in. They'll handle the local contract, making sure it's 100% compliant, and they'll take care of all the onboarding. And then for step 3, they just manage everything from there on out. Payroll, taxes, benefits, making sure it's all done perfectly, by the book.
The real beauty of this model comes down to two things: speed and safety. See, an EOR has local experts on the ground. It's literally their job to keep up with every little change in the labor laws. They make sure your team gets paid accurately, on time, and in the right currency. They handle all the paperwork, and, this is the big one, they make sure you are always fully compliant. It's all about taking that risk off your plate.
So let's just zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. This whole conversation isn't just about a single hire. It's really about your core strategy for global expansion. Which really leaves us with one final, and I think pretty powerful question to think about. When it comes to your next global hire, are you going to build or are you going to borrow? Are you going to invest all that time, money, and energy to build a whole local HR and legal framework from scratch? Or will you borrow an existing, expert framework that gets you there faster, smarter, and with a whole lot less risk? That's really the key strategic choice every global company has to make today.